Hey, Flagstaff. Before I say anything else, can I get a huge hand for my friend Will Stewart from Birmingham, Alabama? Will's been driving me around for 5 fucking days now, and unbelievable. So thanks to him and his amazing music. Some time ago, January, I was in Florida. A friend of mine told me to go see this guy, Abe Partridge. Abe was playing at it was like a songwriter festival, which is about my worst fucking nightmare that I could ever imagine. A festival full of songwriters. That's a lot of fucking egos right there, let me tell you. But so Abe was playing at this pizza place. It was actually kind of cool, and it was pretty life-changing. He's, as I get old, all I care about in art is shit that's true, and his shit is for real, and it's very beautiful. And I'm sure you're going to be seeing lots of him because he's an amazing talent and he's a wonderful guy. And Flagstaff, Arizona, please put your hands together. From Birmingham, Alabama, Mr. Abe Partridge. Oh, fuck. Mobile.
It's a long way.
It's still fucking Alabama. Mobile, Alabama, Abe Partridge.
Thank you. How y'all doing? Well, she sparkled like a rhinestone in an old country singer's coat. Underneath them neon bar lights that was tinted with cigarette smoke, and she was sipping on this top shelf whiskey and slowly tapping her feet to the song that my band was playing, to a slow bluesy beat. And I was leaning back on the kick drum with a worn out Gibson in my hand, and I was playing them country blues just as sad as a white boy can. And she sounded like a hallelujah when she said, boy, y'all take requests. And then she whispered soft into my ear, and this is what she said. She said, I know you're trying hard, but you're gonna have to do much better, 'cause the blues ain't gonna get you out of Alabama. And last night your band, it was hot, and tonight they're even better. But the blues ain't gonna get you out of Alabama. And so I took that guitar from off my neck and said, boys, y'all finish the set. And then I rolled the dice and asked that girl if she had the time to dance. I said, oh, what brought you to a place like this? She said, I just passing through town. As we twirled around in them neons on this whiskey carousel. Scared about the way it would sound. And I could tell by the way that she looked at me that she knew my kind too well. I said, oh baby, I'll leave these blues behind, and I'll lay this guitar down, and together we can leave this smoky bar in this old shitty town. She said, I know you're trying hard, but you're gonna have to do much better, 'cause the blues ain't gonna get you out of Alabama. And last night your band, it was hot, and tonight they're even better. But the blues ain't gonna get you out of Alabama. Now there she goes out the door. Yes, there she goes out the door. Now I can't sing the blues like I never sang them before. Yes, there she goes out the door. Thank y'all. We came up from Phoenix today and went through the Sedona Valley, which was one of the most beautiful places I reckon I've ever seen. And came up here to Flagstaff, which is a much cooler place than Phoenix. This is my last show out here in the West, on account that I've got my son with me and it's time for him to go to school. So we're gonna be driving for 24 hours over the next couple of days. And we've had an awful good time, and I'll be forever at Jerry's debt for letting me come out here and play to you good people. This is a song I wrote called The Temptation of Christ in the Wilderness. I hope you like it. Well, the Spirit led me out into the wilderness, 'cause my name has always been Believer, and I've gotta find a way to finally find myself that isn't based in twisted scripture, 'cause I can't say that I ain't thought about leaving it all behind. And sometimes I feel crippled by my weakness, and Jesus walked on water, but not before the time. his temptation in the wilderness. And man shall not live by bread alone. Now there was a time when I would go no deeper, but there ain't nothing worth believing that you can't find out on your own. 'Cause love won't hide from the honest seeker, and I'm still trying to figure out what it means to be born again. Oh Lord, turn my struggle to forgiveness, and from the death of my rebellion, won't you raise me to stand as Christ's temptation in the wilderness. And every heart I crossed will soon be forgot, and the works of my hands shall surely burn. And I hear the devil taunt me in the silent dark as I pray for a holy turn. 'Cause I've done learned a few things that I wish I never knew. Just above the doubt of Satan's hiss, but soon I'll shed this frame an inch closer to the truths of Christ's temptation in the wilderness. Thank you. This is a song I wrote called Ride Willie Rider, thoughts I had while contemplating both the metaphysical nature of Willie Nelson and his harassment by the Internal Revenue Service. I hope you like it. Well, I was born in Alabama, and like old Susanna, I got a banjo on my knee. And I ain't got a lot of money, but brother, I will make it, so don't you worry about me. 'Cause I'll smoke 'em when I got 'em, and sing one when I need to, and I'll try to remember all the words. 'Cause it's troubles and heartaches, but life's still worth the living, and a song to make it easier. So yes, ride, Willie, ride, and roll, Willie, roll. The IRS will take your money, but they can't take your soul. And do you like my version of Red-Headed Stranger? Is the guitar part all right? I don't sound as cool as old Willie Nelson, but brother, I'm just as high. 'Cause I'll smoke 'em when I got 'em, and sing one when I need to, and I'll try to remember all the words. 'Cause it's troubles and heartaches, but life's still worth the living, and a song will make it easier. So yes, ride, Willie, your soul. I wrote this a few years back whenever the IRS was taking all my money. And I happened to coincide with my exploration of the catalog of Willie Nelson. And through all that I found out that he had his own IRS problems. And that's why none of this song makes sense. Count that I was really stressed out. Pay your taxes, 'cause that's the price of living in a free country. And that makes sense until you start thinking about it, then it all falls apart. And I went to school with Gina. She was from West Mobile, a South Alabama hippie. And when we were in class, she drew psychedelic posters with Crayolas and Sharpies. And she'd smoke them when she had them, and sang one when she needed to. And she tried to remember all the words, 'cause it's troubles and heartaches, but life's still worth the living, and a song makes it easier. So yes, ride, Willie, ride, and roll, Willie, roll. The IRS will take your money, but they can't take your soul. Yes, ride, Willie, ride, and roll, Willie, roll. The IRS will take your money, but they can't take your soul. This is a song I wrote for, I wrote this song for Kurt Cobain and Lane Staley and Scott Weiland and Chris Cornell. It's called An Ode to My Generation. Hope you like it. Were you there when the revolution was still young? Oh, were you there when the revolution was still young? And we set ourselves on fire, not knowing they'd watch us burn. Were you there when the revolution was still young? And were you there when the nonconformists were still cool? Oh, were you there when the nonconformists were still cool? And we declared our only purpose was to break every rule. Or were you there when the nonconformists were still cool? And rock and roll's all we'd ever excel. And so they feared us, and they marked us with an X. Were you even there in our wild and our youthful haze? Oh, were you there in our wild and our youthful haze? 'Cause now you comb your hair like your father, and you talk about the good old days. But were you there in our wild and our youthful haze? And were you there when MTV taught us of suicide? was our only voice, how he fought till the day he died. Oh, were you there when MTV taught us of suicide? And then they said that grunge was dead. They said that revolution, that it was only in our heads. But I was there when the revolution was still young. Lord, I was there when the revolution was still young. Now I just watch as the devil picks us off one by one. But I was there when the revolution was still young. Thank y'all. Oh, it's a mighty fine crowd. I appreciate y'all listening to these songs. You could be all laughing and dancing and twerking on each other like they were down in Phoenix last night. I had 3 fine ladies come by my hat and then proceed to rub their ass on everybody in that club and put my hat on their head. It was interesting. I sat at the back of the venue and people watched all night. But I left home when I was 18 years old and got a theological education. I went to 4 Bible colleges in 4 years. And I married a woman who I happen to still be married to. I married the love of my life on the day after I graduated. And started pastoring a Baptist church in the mountains of Kentucky when I was 25. And then whenever I was 27, I went crazy. I started writing songs and painting pictures. And then I moved back home. Loaded up, quit the church and loaded up my wife and kids, and we moved back to Mobile and moved in with my mom and joined the U.S. military because I had no marketable skill. And I went overseas in 2013 and 14 to participate. Yeah, thank you. And the most horrible thing on the face of the earth. And when I was over there, I realized I had spent my entire adulthood bringing negativity and violence into the world. And I told God that if He had let me come home, that I'd do my best to put a little beauty into the world. And 3.5 years ago, I played my first show. And now I've been touring all over, and I support my family. Now I'm doing my best to bring beauty in the world. And that fella over there in the funny-looking hat's been real good to me. We met each other back at a songwriter festival, and I know that y'all probably understand this, but I think it needs to be said is that, Jerry didn't have anything to gain by bringing me and Will on this tour with him. All y'all would have been here for him. Y'all didn't know who I was, and He did that to help us. And that's right. And that speaks a great deal to his character. So he's a good guy to support. I'm glad you guys are here. And shut up. But anyway, this is a song I wrote. I wrote this song to God. It's kind of like a statement of faith. It's a prayer. It's called Love in the Dark. Hope you like it. Well, I once saw your light on a revival hill, a sinner's daylight, as I begged my heart to still. And I walked out into the night on a teenage thrill. I never meant to close my eyes till your light grew dim. And now, Lord, I ain't asking for a brand new start. I just need your direction on finding love in the dark. You see, I went out to disciple, to set the mountains ablaze, and I had every answer. I knew just how to be saved. I thought I wanted to be a preacher. Maybe I just wanted a stage, 'cause I was called to the floor and I didn't have nothing to say. And I used to clench my candle. I used to pray for a spark. And now I'm just content in the struggle of finding love in the dark. In my youth, it was a waste on the ancient scrolls when I decided not to hang on the great unknowns. It ain't that I've been looking toward the grave. Lord, I look to hope. I'm just praying that the rivers of grace do downward flow. 'Cause your light, it ain't always shined, and I've never figured out my heart. So now I'm just feeling through my midnights, finding love in the dark. Thank you. I married this woman 16 years ago, and she's now been married to a Baptist preacher and a military man, and now she's the wife of a traveling musician, and she's been married to the same dude the whole time. But when we first got married, we lived in a little trailer in the northwest Georgia mountains, and we didn't believe in television in them days. And she wore long dresses. We didn't listen to music that wasn't deemed appropriate by the Baptist church. And we didn't have a whole lot to do. So we had a lot of chickens. And we watched chickens is what we did. Which is more entertaining than about anything you can find on television. So I've kind of come full circle. I went back to the television, I realized the chickens were way better. I'd play a banjo though, and she'd play a fiddle, and we'd go out on our front porch of this trailer, and it was on 70 acres. Our rent was $325 a month. Play music till way in the evening, and we were real happy. I wrote this song about them times. It's called Beautiful. I wrote it for my wife. Hope you like it. Just you and me in our trailer, and the Smokies and the autumn leaves were the only things that ever would fall. A redbird song could make our day. We lived our life in this youthful haze, and we just knew that love could be our all in all. And we would wander them pulpwood trails like two ships without their sails. And we were young souls, we were untamed and free. And I emptied out my pockets to buy you that Walmart heart-shaped locket you wore around your neck with a picture in it of you and me. 'Cause what's beautiful in this world is what makes you feel good, and what makes you feel good is what makes you free. Baby, you're beautiful to me. So get your fiddle down off the wall, and I'll get my banjo around nightfall. Out on the front porch, we'd have an Opry all of our own, with old Joe Clark and Cripple Creek and chirping crickets a-singing lead. And we'd cry every time that we sang a gospel song. 'Cause what's beautiful in this world is what makes you feel good, and what guess I'll sing a couple more. I was a Baptist preacher for 9 years, and I only met just a handful of Christians in my whole life, and one of them happened to be my grandmother. I had 2 grandmothers that were fine women, and both of them have passed away over the last few years. And when I was growing up, my dad was the oldest of 6 children, and my mother was the youngest of 3, and they all lived in Andalusia. All my family lived in Andalusia, Alabama, and Christmases was always a big deal. You know, we had a lot of cousins, and the grannies were kind of like the glue, you know, that held everything together. And they've both passed now. And so I wrote this song in their memory. It's called Breaking Up Christmas. Hope you like it. We're breaking up Christmas to the sound that wrapping paper makes. As it's shoved into a trash bag with old shirt boxes and Scotch tape. We used to save the bows for Granny, and we made sure they'd keep their shape. And she'd keep them in her closet to reuse on our birthdays. And now away in a manger, oh Lord, it seems so far away. When you're staring at your cousin and you can't find the words to say, so it's hell-belted and tigers, and God knows Granny was the same. Breaking up Christmas. Happy holidays. We're breaking up Christmas, watching them college football games. Leftover dressing, it's always better the second day. And Papa cusses Congress while my nephew sneaked the cake. They said it was Granny's recipe, but we all know it ain't the same. And now them angels we'd heard on high, Lord, now they barely speak. This void is now in their way. is a fine button-down cousin. Thank you, but do you happen to have the receipt? We're breaking up Christmas. Now happy holidays. And yes, oh silent night, Lord, we've been screaming for days. And we lost it on Black Friday, and we went to church on Sunday. And I reckon them Dairy Queen footlongs are a deal at $2.98. And now we're breaking up Christmas. A happy holiday. All right, I'm not sure how much more time I got, but I'm gonna play you two more. And God bless y'all. Thank y'all for listening. And I'm an artist as well as a songwriter, and I have art that I want you to buy, so I don't have to take it to Mobile with me. This is Hank Williams, a senior, and the car that he died in. That's right. And but I'm appreciate y'all listening. Thank God for Jerry Joseph and me and Will, man, it's so cool to. We didn't even know each other. We live in the same state. We had to drive all the way to Oregon to play with Jerry before we actually met. He's a hell of a songwriter, and his record is phenomenal. This is a song I wrote in about 20 minutes, and it took me 6 months to learn it. It's called Abe Partridge's 403rd Freakout. I hope you like it. Well, sometimes I think we're already dead, or this trap that I call time is just some inception like dream state I'm in. As I lay down, I think maybe we never existed at all. We're just some five-sensed hallucination, just the mirror image of a higher reality beyond our comprehension. And I lie awake at night and can't keep my mind from wondering about what it all means, that I have the ability to wonder what it all means. Do you know that nobody in this whole wide world can give you the definition of consciousness? It doesn't venture off into religion or some kind of absurdist pseudoscience. And since I started listening to both sides without caring on to which side I fell, well, I found out there were more than two sides, if you really want to know a subject well, which only led me to more heartbreak as I thought about all the fights that have been started by two sides, and neither one of them were truly wrong or right. And then I considered the brutality that I witness every day, and how numb to the sight of human suffering I've become in my middle age. Now all the fascists and the commies are spewing out their dogmas, taking over the conversations, and any voice that's devoid of an agenda has been removed from consideration. And I started thinking about the weapons of mass destruction, biological and chemical and nukes, and that we could have them all fired from the push of a button of an orange presidential buffoon. And so I started reading up on how how to survive a nuclear apocalypse. And after my research, I concluded I didn't even want to survive to live in a world like that. So even if I try to be positive and convince myself someday we might actually have peace, well, it's then that I realize in like 1 billion years or something, our planet's gonna cease to be. Cause the sun has gravity too, you know. And we're being pulled in as we orbit. If we don't find a way to destroy ourselves, then the sun's gonna do it for us. So, la 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 la, la 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 la, turn off your mind. La 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 la, la 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 la, turn off your mind. La 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 la, la 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 la, turn off your mind. Because an active mind is the devil's playground. The devil's playground. Well, then my mind turned to the scientists and the explorers and the greatest amongst us all, who gave their lives to learning and research, and they made great discoveries about the world. But then it occurred to me that all truth exists long before some learned man makes it known. I mean, if you think about it, E don't equal MC squared just because Einstein said it was so. And now considering this, science kind of seems like a waste. I'm gonna devote myself to art. At least an artist creates something of value, a unique representation of his heart. But then I look around at this plastic world and their frowning faces and their disdain for beauty, and all these poor starving artists dwelling at the fringes of a cold society. But you know that we would not have fur Elise if it were not for this individual named Beethoven. And we would certainly not have the White Album if Paul McCartney never met John Lennon. And I said, well, maybe that's my problem. I miss my Lennon. Somehow that chance done passed me by. And that's the reason I'm standing here singing this stupid song and losing my freaking mind. And then even the stranger thought my tortured mind began to ponder. Lord, I wonder what if Einstein would have met McCartney first while John Lennon was studying the great wonders. I ain't saying it would have been the Beatles, man, but it would have been interesting to see what they put out. Because I know that Einstein had some pretty cool hair, but I wonder if he could twist and shout. And maybe if Einstein had been singing, oh, blah-dee, oh, blah-da, instead of drafting the letter to Roosevelt that paved the way for a nuclear bomb, then a little boy from Nagasaki could have married a pretty young girl from Hiroshima, and they could have sang, oh, blah-dee, blah-da, and taught their kids songs by the Beatles. And I can imagine that the guy that wrote Imagine would have been any use in a science lab, lest that lab had the sole purpose of giving world peace a chance. So we gotta get into science, and Einstein and McCartney, we gotta find a way to get back in time. But then I realized if we ever build a time machine, it'll be based on the scientific work of Albert Einstein. So la 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 la, turn off your mind. La 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 la, turn off your mind. La 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 la, turn off your mind. Because an active mind is the devil's playground. The devil's playground. I play this place in my hometown called the Listening Room of Mobile, and they gave me my first show when I was just starting out. One night I was seeing a buddy of mine play a show there, and I left, and I went up to the corner of Royal and St. Francis in downtown Mobile, and I looked to my right, and there was an area of town that I couldn't go to. And I looked to my left, and I saw a bronze monument to a man named Admiral Raphael Sims. And I happened to be raised out in a little community outside of Mobile called Sims, and it was named after this guy. And I wrote this song about the strange dichotomy of living in the American Deep South, and it's called The Ghost of Mobile. Hope you like it. That Spanish moss, Lord, how it covers these old plantations, and it makes me wonder whether those that once suffered now slumber, or do they wake? 'Cause these kids that called him father, they're now crying like no other. The heart of Dixie, it's in turmoil, future spoiled, and it can't be saved. Oh no, it ain't hard to find the devil in this town. 'Cause them old gray ghosts won't stay in the ground. And I wish there was a way for us to put them all down. Oh no, it ain't hard to find the devil in this town. And death marched behind old Sherman and the scorched earth of noble Georgia. But these Pharisaians, they're red and yellow, but they ain't never seen a flame. And now Savannah is no longer burning, but Mobile, Lord, she's still haunted. Is Admiral Sims towers peering down the Dolphin, where the living laugh in vain. Oh no, it ain't hard to find the devil in this town. 'Cause them old gray ghosts won't stay in the ground. And I wish there was a way for us to put them all down. Oh no, it ain't hard to find the devil in this town. Now them dead Confederates in lockstep march to the cadence of Beauregard, and their own rebel hearts, they're thick as fog on the Mobile Bay. And on their tombstones, it has been built, all this poor white man's guilt, and the faint justice house of cotton fields and blood for days. Cotton fields and blood for days. Cotton fields and blood for days. God bless y'all. I'll hang around for Jerry Joseph. Thank you.